Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. My name is Shinram Chivo, and today, yes, I know the excitement. We are looking at mechanical pencils, top 5 in 2020. Woo, 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 woo! It is that time of the year, and school season is approaching. So lots of people are looking for more school supplies, or whether you are not going in school and you just want some sick pencils, you're in the right place. So we'll go through this year's top 5. There are some upsets. I know it's going to be tough, but we'll get through it. And there's some new faces, some old ones we waved goodbye to. This is last year's list. You can take a quick look, and we'll actually start with the runners up. So the ones that didn't quite make the cut, but I still think are absolutely wonderful pencils in their own rights. We'll actually start with the OG, the GOAT, as one may say. That's the Kuro Toga. So we have this old looking boy. We have some duct tape here. And yes, that is not an eraser, that is a push pin. And this is a standard but wonderful pencil. And it's one of the first, if not the first, forays of mine into the world of mechanical pencils. So what makes this pencil so special? I am glad you asked. What a wonderful question. One thing is that the tip actually rotates. Now I'll have a hard time showing you here, and I don't want to record anything else, but if I press down on it, you can't see it, but the tip is rotating with each press. And what this does is it keeps the pencil evenly sharpened all the way around. Now, how useful is this? It really depends on you and how you use your pencils. So for me, it is moderately useful at best. It's a cool gimmick, obviously, to show to friends, oh wow, my pencil rotates. But you can rotate your own pencil, it's not that tough. And also, especially with the smaller lead sizes, it's not that big of a deal. If you use 0.3 or 0.5, you're probably fine. 0.7, I would say this does have a real advantage because that lead can sometimes get way thicker on one side than another, and this keeps it nice and even. But we don't really use 0.7 around here. So this is a great pencil. It is also fairly inexpensive, and it can be found just about anywhere. I've seen this at Walmart. I've seen this just about anywhere. So Staples, all supply stores will probably have something along the same lines as this Kuro Toga, not roulette, just the Kuro Toga. The roulette is one step up actually, and we may or may not be getting to that in this list. We'll go on to my next runner-up, which might be a bit of a surprise to some of you because it is on the exact opposite end of the price spectrum, that is the technical term of course, and it's the Rotring 800 Plus. Now, what is Rotring? Great question once again. It means red ring in German, and the 800 Plus is, I wouldn't say their best. It is their most expensive pencil though. And so that is one huge knock against it. It is not worth the money. I cannot make any justification for this pencil. It has a few cool features, but they are mostly gimmicks. So one cool feature is this. So where's the pencil, you might ask? Well, if I do this, there it is, and there it's not. There it is, and there it's not. It actually turns into a stylus, which you can use on your mobile phone, because everyone uses styluses on their mobile devices, am I right? And it's a wonderful, actually horrible stylus that doesn't do its job very well. And the eraser is not the largest. Of course, I recommend against using erasers on mechanical pencils, but I do it all the time. So, do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. And it's a pretty good pencil otherwise. So the knurling is okay. That's this corrugated metal part close to the tip. It has a very good balance. It's a little on the heavy side, but I don't really mind that because it makes it's worth its heft, if you know what I mean. And so it's a pretty great pencil, other than the fact that it's ridiculously expensive, like $60 on a good day. So I don't recommend this for the general public, but it is a runner-up because it is a very solid pencil. Rotring has some other offerings which are way more reasonable though, so we might get to those later. Next up, we have a pencil on the other end of the spectrum, so a lot more affordable. Still not, as cheap as, say, a wooden pencil, but none of these will be. And what you're really paying for, or at least what I convince myself that I'm paying for, is that extra bit of quality. So Mechanical pencils, they come and go. You have to resharpen and resharpen, and this is reusable. So you can keep it for a lot longer. And I mean, you know the benefits of mechanical pencils. You're probably watching this video because, you know, you are also an enthusiast, if I may call myself that. The reason why the Zebra Delgaurd is so sick, that is a technical term, is because, first of all, it's not too expensive. Second of all, it has another lead trick. So this time, let's see if I'll not break it, because I broke it last time. But when you push down, ow, you can see the mechanism inside going back and forth. And this prevents it from breaking as easily. So it can still break, like if I put it at an angle, it broke. But typically, you're not, you know, stress testing every pencil you have. And in normal writing sessions, it can keep your pencil from breaking a lot. So you're saving on money on the pencil and you're saving on money on your lead. So it's a double money saver and it's a pretty great pencil. So there's no fancy knurling, which is I think is often a good thing, because the knurling often doesn't provide as much grip as it looks like it should, and this is like ribbed almost, and so you can get a good grip on it, but it's not uncomfortable to hold for longer writing sessions. But it's not quite as good to hold as this one. Yes, the Uni Alpha Gel. And this is also a shaker, so if I shook the pencil like that, the lead became slightly longer. That is kind of a gimmick. It is cool to show, but how often are you shaking the pencil? I mean now I'm shaking it all the time. It is a pretty great pencil for long writing sessions. So each of these pencils are suited to their own, their own specialties, but the top 5 are really solid all-rounders. Now, the reason why this pencil is no longer on my top 5 list, as you can see, it did used to be here a millennia ago, but there are a couple things that have, changed my mind about the Alpha Gel Shaker. So one such thing is the build quality, and this is the main thing really. Like, you can see that this just comes out, right? And this tip also isn't as solid as I'd like it to be. When I'm writing, that can really be, a little bit annoying, and just takes that extra bit of time to screw the tip back on or prevent this from flying away, because it comes off it comes off fairly easily. That was not a great show of strength, and you don't want this rolling around in your pencil case and then you're going looking for, okay, where's the cap? The eraser's fine on this one. It's a decent size, but as you can see, I have whittled away at it, so it is almost nothing. But that is it for the Alpha Gel. Now to the top 5, what you guys have all been waiting for. I may kindly ask for a drum roll, please. Top 5 mechanical pencils 2020. Let's do this. Okay, there will be a couple upsets. I'll let you guys know that right away. So in 5th place, we have this wonderful beast. Now you might be asking, what exactly is that, Chinamram? What a great question. So this is actually the Muji low center of gravity pencil. And it's a new favorite of mine because it's very, very, very similar to the Graphgear 500. So not exactly the 1000, but the younger brother in the Graphgear series. And in some aspects, the better brother. Because even though the knurling isn't as fancy, I find it more, maybe reliable is the right word. And also the price is slightly more affordable for this version. And that is because it has a evidently plastic body, whereas the Rotring 1000 is still plastic, it's just colored to look like metal. But this is also a pencil I would highly recommend for school. It has a lead indicator, which obviously isn't that useful in a day-to-day thing unless you're like an architect or something, but it is cool to have. And the eraser is moderately sized. It has that thing with a lot of pencils where you can, or Graphgear pencils, where you can actually increase the size of the eraser. And I love this. Once again, do as I say, not as I do in terms of mechanical pencil erasers. I love that it has it. I don't recommend using yours all the time, but I use mine all the time, so do what you will. And also the mechanical pencil indicator is nice and clicky. So it doesn't just glide from one thing to the next. There's a little bit of stopping time, and I really, really like that. Great to fidget around with if you're into that. Up next, we have the big brother, and it has maintained its spot on the leaderboard, but it has dropped down a couple places. Yes, I'm talking about the Graphgear 1000. Now, this is a superstar pencil, don't get me wrong, but it used to be in first place. What happened? A couple things. One major thing, actually, and that's durability. So this might come as a shock, but yes, this is not the original pencil. And what is that? It is broken. And that is so unfortunate. And yes, I did go and buy another one. That is why it's still on the list, because I'd say it is worth it. It's such a great pencil for all that it does, but I can't give it full marks because the durability clearly isn't there. But there are a lot of features, a lot I love about this pencil. So there's the wonderful pocket clip, which also unextends and re-extends the tip at the top. The tippity top. The knurling is fine. I don't find it, wonderful or anything, but it is cool. It looks cool too, which doesn't hurt. And there is a lead indicator there. It does get kind of gunky, which is a technical term for gets your finger dirt and stuff. Which is kind of gross. But also the eraser has that also wonderful thing, if I could get it out, where it used to be moderately sized. Now it's slightly smaller, but that just shows that I've been putting it to good use. So the erasers are reasonably sized. This is what I said should be the standard for erasers. A lot of pencils are smaller, but I think this is perfect for eraser size. And it's a great all-around pencil. Also not too expensive, around $15 on Amazon, which obviously is expensive, but for what you're getting, I think it's pretty worth it. Speaking of not worth it for what you're getting, I'm kidding. This is the Rotring Rapid Pro. Yes, it does have my name on it. There is no personal bias with this pencil whatsoever. It's sick. It was a gift, so I appreciate it a lot more, but it still stands on its own. So Rotring has a lot of great products, but one caveat is that they are fairly expensive. What differentiates the Rapid Pro from the rest is its shape. So typically with Rotring pencils, if I go back to the Graphgear to the 800, you can see that this one is more smooth and this one is more hexagonal. So this is a typical Rotring pencil, and some might like this because, industrial design in Germany and all the things that Rotring stands for. However, it's a little bit uncomfortable. I'm not a robot. I don't have hexagonal fingers, so it makes a lot more sense for it to be a lot more smoothed out. Also, the knurling is pretty great. I don't need a stylus for my mobile device, so this works just fine. The eraser is a bit on the small side, so it does get docked for that, but it is just a wonderful pencil, which hasn't failed me yet. The knurling collects a little bit of dust, and also some of the brass you can see is poking through. Those are just signs of use and signs of love, so I like this pencil a lot. Next up, we have one of my favorites, top two even, the Pentel Kerry. So the Pentel Kerry is quite possibly the sickest mechanical pencil to ever exist, and that is obviously not an exaggeration because it is two pencils in one. It can be this big or it can be this big. Let me do that one more time in case you missed it. This big, so this size, or smaller pencil, lighter on the hands. If you have smaller hands, perfect. It's a bit on the more expensive side, like $25 I'd say this usually goes for, but great build quality. One thing, this is also kind of loose. What's up with that, Kerry? I don't know if that's my fault. I don't think it is because I use it like a pencil. But if it is, if there's any way that I can fix this, I will try. As you can see, I'm not averse to trying and fixing my pencils in any way that I can. But it's a great pencil. It is comfortable to hold for very long writing sessions. Even though it's metal, which is a plus, the curve allows you to go close to the edge so you can get, that uptight heart or anything you might be writing on the pencil without hurting your fingers, because a lot of the pencils close to the edge, they have some fancy bumps and stuff. And when you try and rest your hand close to there, you just hurt yourself. So the Pentel Kerry is a great pencil, and obviously it's my top 2. So that is one of my wonderful recommendations. Number 1, can we get one more drum roll, please? Yes, it is an upset. What is this? This is a Faber Castell TK Fine Vario 0.5 millimeter lead. And actually, if you go to the comments of last year's video, this was a recommendation there. So thank you. I think your name was Ben Guy or something. I'm sorry if I messed it up. But this is a wonderful pencil. Now, there are a lot of Faber Castell pencils, and in fact, I think they're more well known for making pencil crayons, but this is a work of art. What makes it so great is that forbidden eraser. Let me show you. So you can actually twist. Which way? Wrong way. My anticipation is killing me out here. You can actually twist. Ah, there we go. See that? And it keeps coming. 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 So it's like those twisty, like eraser things, but in a pencil. Who thought of this? This is wonderful. This is so great. It also has like a little lead indicator to suit your needs. And this thing, I'm not sure if it works or if it's the placebo effect, but you can turn it and it goes from soft to hard lead. And now, I don't know if this actually works. I feel like it does, but that isn't really justifying anything. But why is this such a great pencil? First of all, it just works. Like, there's nothing too fancy. It's not all metal construction. It's also not too expensive. You can get this for like $12 on Amazon. And it just works. There's so many times that I'm, rushing to find a pencil. And I look at one and, the lead's broken, or I go to push it and it doesn't work, or it falls apart in my hands, basically. I guess I'm just a monster. But this one just seems to work. Now, obviously, time will tell in terms of durability. It's not made of metal. But it seems like some pretty tough plastic. And it's a really great seeming pencil. And for this year, this is my number 1 pick. So I will write them down so that you guys can look at them if you want. Wonderful. Now we have the rifle transition of power, and let me get them all on screen so that you guys can take a look, make sure you get the right pencils. These are my top 5. Wonderful. And these are our wonderful runner-ups. These beautiful individuals, including this broken one, of course. And one more thing, which I didn't mention last year, but has saved me so frequently, and it's this tiny little eraser that works just like a mechanical pencil, because you can extend it, do all of your erasing. Sorry, heart, you gotta go. And it just works. It's wonderful. And that is my cue to leave. Thank you guys so much for watching yet another year of top 5 mechanical pencils. My hands are blue from my anticipation and my nervousness, and not marker, obviously. So I hope you guys have a great day. If you're going to school, have a great back to school. All the very best, and peace.